The Zimbabwe Albino Association, ZIMAS, together with Christian Blind Mission, CBM, which supported as a technical partner, undertook the assessment which sought to establish the level of disability inclusion amongst UN agencies using the United Nations Disability Inclusion Strategy, UNDIS. A pragmatic approach to research was adopted. 9 agencies took part through focus group discussions, virtual interviews, and accessibility check visits. Furthermore, the UN Resident Coordinator also participated as a key informant, together with executives of selected OPDs as well as an employee of the UN agency who has a disability. Findings have revealed that tremendous efforts have been made in embracing disability accessibility in UN agencies. Significant strides have been witnessed on accessibility and reasonable accommodation dimensions. However, although meaningful progress has been witnessed, in most cases, disability issues lacked policies. In this regard, most agencies scored less on some of the indicators such as strategic planning, procurement, employment, and communication. Almost every agency that participated in this assessment had a disability focal point. On another note, it was established that the majority of UN agencies have no disability-specific policies and strategies in place. More needs to be done to ensure that agencies develop and implement disability-specific policies and strategies, as this is a basis for disability inclusion.
Hello, my name is Senzeni Mutevedzi. So I'm going to talk about the recommendations and the concerns that we have found here. As a wheelchair user, a person who's physically disabled, I have found out that some of the ramps that we have come up with, that we have seen so far, some of them are quite okay. The floors are rough enough and the width is fine. But we have managed to find one which is a bit acute that I cannot maneuver on my own. We also discovered that most of the rooms that we have moved, the offices that we have been to, we have quadriplegic toilets, which is a plus on our side, because we have discovered that the public toilets that they have, they are not wheelchair accessible, but they have quadriplegic toilets, at least one in each and every building, which is okay.
My name is Jules Dawoodi, and we are assessing all the UN agencies in Zimbabwe. I've visited a number of them, and I'm happy with the accessibility into the buildings and into the complexes. However, maybe there is need for improvement when it comes to displays that are written for others who can read large print and others who can read the normal print. Maybe for persons with visual impairment, like me, would probably need braille output in some of the instances or audio output in some other instances. Yes, I was happy with one of the agents who have speakers in their conference room so that there is audio output for what is being displayed on the boards. Then maybe the other thing, commenting for persons with dwarfism, I also realized that there are some places where there is accessibility in terms of placement, for instance, of kitchen utensils, and in terms of placement maybe of dispensers in some of the agencies, but in other agencies they are too high for someone who is challenge in stature. They can't reach on their own if it is to promote independent living.
My name is Stembeni Manduna. So from where we have been going, we have seen that the environment was okay. From where we went, we can see that there are some things that can be corrected there, like the toilets. For the disabilities, it was difficult for them to enter. It was so small, the rooms were small. the kitchen was okay. There were sanitizers there. It was okay. All things were high, but we think that if they put them lower so that the disabled ones, they can be able to use them. We can see that for the deaf it can be difficult if there is no interpreter. So if they can get an interpreter there, or if they can learn sign language, it will be better. Thank you.
I'm Kudakwashi Machia, Project Officer, Zimbabwe Albino Association, and we've been undertaking accessibility checks in UN agencies, and we have covered 8 agencies so far. And speaking for persons with low vision, I can say that a lot of work has been done to ensure that the persons with low vision can access material. The material that we saw during our visits was printed in large print. I myself could read clearly, and the majority of agencies have made these materials accessible. There are, however, a few agencies that need to improve their materials, their print materials for people with low vision, and I'm glad to say that they mentioned that they will definitely make these improvements, and we are looking forward to completing this exercise and giving recommendations to various UN agencies.
My name is Deborah Tegere. I am the Country Director for Christian Blind Mission, CBM International in Zimbabwe. The UNDIS provides the basis for transformative progress in achieving disability inclusion, aligned to the pillars of the United Nations work. Attitudinal barriers are the biggest challenge we face in achieving disability inclusion. In my interaction with the various UN agencies, including the highest office headed by the United Nations Resident Coordinator, I witnessed the commitment and strategic direction towards achieving disability inclusion across the UN system in Zimbabwe. This has also been demonstrated by their commitment in promoting the meaningful participation of persons with disabilities and their organizations. With this commitment, I have no doubt that the UN in Zimbabwe will achieve milestones in disability inclusion as guided by their accountability framework.
My name is Dr. Mongani Zefarai, Secretary General of the Zimbabwe Albino Association. I'd like to thank UN PRPD, UNESCO in particular, for the opportunity they gave us to conduct an assessment on disability inclusion of UN agencies in Zimbabwe. And still on that note, we also want to thank CBM, which was our technical partner in this entire exercise. They had to guide us. They guided us quite well. We had to take from their expertise, and we appreciate their role in this assessment project. We had some accessibility checks, so we had to go onto their premises and then see or assess the level at which their infrastructure would accommodate persons with disabilities. So in that endeavor, we had to be accompanied by persons with different disabilities, say visual disabilities, those who were on wheelchairs, among others. So they would help us to assess on the ground the level at which, or the level to which an agency is accommodating persons with disabilities. The assessment also took on board persons with disabilities from different DPOs. In this case, we wanted to tap from their own experiences in as far as their interaction with UN agencies is concerned, but primarily focusing on the level of inclusion according to their own perceptions. The Zimbabwe Albino Association therefore expresses its gratitude to all those who made this assessment possible and fruitful. And we just hope as an organization that this window will open up further interactions with UN agencies. Would also want to assume that this exercise or this assessment will improve the level of inclusion, not only within UN agencies, but many other organizations can also tap from such an assessment for the betterment of lives of persons with disabilities. Thank you.